Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for your first Chelsea video of the day. The second one later is the Tottenham preview, and I know a lot of people are saying the season is over. We got nothing to play for. Well, I'm going to tell you later on why we absolutely do, and we must ruin Ange Postecoglou's first season as Tottenham manager and beat him. It's as simple as that. But today we're going to talk about the appearance from Paul Winstanley at Cobham. He's been spotted. Paul Winstanley, the bloke who hasn't really done anything good since he got to Chelsea. He's been spotted at Cobham. Bloody hell. It worries me, you know, when these people, the sporting directors, we might as well just jump straight into the stories. We're going to talk Silva, Tuchel, Xavi Simons, and Ronald Araujo, and Gabri Veiga in this video. So stay tuned to the end. Subscribe if you're new, and smack a like on this video if you're a legend and you like the video. It's as simple as that. We go into the news. Paul Winstanley spotted at training yesterday in conversation with Mauricio Pochettino and Reece James. There's a photo. Didn't believe me? Got photo evidence for you. There you go. What a pick that is. Paul Winstanley, employee at Chelsea Football Club, is at Chelsea. However, there is different ways you can look at this one. It could be very much a hands-on approach where Pochettino and the Chelsea captain are coming together and discussing with Paul Winstanley, who's a bloke at the moment who needs to do a lot before I can actually start giving him my love and respect. But there could be conversations happening right now, even before the end of the season, where Pochettino is being given the back-in. Let's just say it looks like that at the moment. Reece James is also the club captain. So between the two of them, they're speaking to these senior figures in the Chelsea dressing room, and they're looking around and they're thinking, what's working and what's not? And I think because Reece James is such a Chelsea man, such a Chelsea bloke, Champions League winner as well, just in case you'd forgotten, I do think Reece James will have a big say, especially the more that we see Thiago Silva leaving, leader, Conor Gallagher. Still blows my mind that the club are even thinking about selling him, but he's a leader in this squad. So Paul Winstanley, speaking with James and Pochettino, don't want to look into it all that much, but I will say I do think Reece James will have a big part to play. Not even in like the overhauls and stuff, because you can't really look at a player and be able to say, like, should he stay, should he go? Because then it's just about picking his mates or whatever. But Reece James is Chelsea. At this point, he is the biggest face at Chelsea Football Club to represent this club. So, yeah, Paul Winstanley is there. Maybe it's also pressure on Pochettino. There's different avenues that you can choose to look at this, but from this bloody amazing photo that we've got, I'm not going to dig into it too much. According to Sky Germany's Plettergoal, Thomas Tuchel is ready to return to the Premier League in the summer. There was a moment last night where Bayern Munich are winning 2-1 against Real Madrid, but for a Vinicius 83rd minute penalty, they'd have won the game. First leg, cracking game of football. I only watched the highlights this morning, but it is Thomas Tuchel in the Champions League. He's managed Dortmund, semi-finalists, PSG, semi-finalists, Bayern Munich manager into the semi-final. Look, Thomas Tuchel is the real deal, and a lot of people thought that we were dire by the time he left Chelsea. I've made a video actually as to why I think Chelsea should rehire Thomas Tuchel, but he's definitely leaving Bayern Munich. Even if they win the Champions League, he said he's leaving Bayern Munich. He's sticking to his word, and Bayern are saying that they're sticking to theirs. We won't stick with him, even if he changed his mind. Thomas Tuchel to the Premier League. Look, I'm telling you now, it's got Manchester United screaming all over this. Absolutely, it reeks of it. It reeks of it, it reeks of it, it reeks of it. And I wouldn't be surprised. Look, I want to back Poch if I can. Like, I want reason to back him. Do you know what I mean? I want to give him the benefit of the doubt if that's what the club are going to decide to do. I'm not going to sit here whining about it. I'm a Chelsea fan. I want to make entertaining videos for you lot. But I would rehire Thomas Tuchel in a flipping heartbeat. Watch the video if you want to hear more. The next story goes back to the Xavi Simons. If you didn't see yesterday's video, I'm just going to whack his stats up on the screen for you lot again. This is from Fabrizio Romano, so it's trusted. Despite links with Chelsea, PSG will decide on Xavi Simons' future at the end of the season. Conversations will take place in the next weeks. Again, I think this is a big thing to remember. We're not talking to RB Leipzig here, who have been kind of seen a bit as a feeder club. They wouldn't like that. But we're talking with Paris Saint-Germain. And there could be a world where we could strike a deal with Paris Saint-Germain. Didn't they want Romelu Lukaku at some stage? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? We can just like give them Lukaku and they can give us 70 million. And Xavi, I'm kidding. I'm absolutely joking. We could just try and like maybe Mudryk for Xavi Simons? It's like for like, right? Let's go for it. Anyway, we move. Chelsea have now established contact with Ronald Araujo's intermediaries as they aim to beat Man United to his signature as they eye Thiago Silva replacement. Now, this is very, very interesting. This again comes from the Court Offside podcast, which I believe is Fabrizio Romano's podcast. This would actually be a mega centre-back signing for Chelsea. I think Ronald Araujo is a really good all-round centre-back. The one thing I will say, though, is if Wesley Fofana can somehow shake off this injury, and I'm also going to throw out another little curveball here, I do think there is a world where a three-at-the-back system at Chelsea has to be looked at. In terms of, even if it's just for like a bit of variance and flexibility, pragmatism, as we spoke about earlier last week. I think Badiashile as a left centre-back, as one of a three, it's just night and day. When you watch him in the early phases of his Chelsea career, left centre-back, part of a back three, excellent. Now against Aston Villa at the weekend, excellent. I do think it's very much a case of this season, Pochettino has struggled when it comes to understanding the profile of the players that he's got. Secondly, understanding the profile of players that are actually available to him. And actually being adaptable within those formations and setups and structures and tactics. Ronald Araujo would be a great option for Chelsea at centre-back. These are the stats for this season that you can see on the screen now. But I would say don't sleep on Wesley Fofana. I think when he's fit, he can be a fantastic centre-back for Chelsea. Now, this is a story that is coming back round again. Gabri Veiga. Chelsea are keen on signing the Spanish midfielder Gabri Veiga at the end of the season. I'm going to just say it right now. Conor Gallagher's goal that he scored against Aston Villa was sublime. On his left foot, the confidence to take it on and the execution of the finish was absolutely fantastic. There's not a way that I can be happy with Chelsea bringing in a player like Gabri Veiga, who buggered off, I think, to Saudi Arabia for the money. I cannot get excited about Chelsea letting go of Conor Gallagher. I think he's now got 14 goal involvements this season in all competitions for Chelsea too, to sign someone like Gabri Veiga. Now, I know that there is a lot of question marks about Conor Gallagher and what is like his definitive role, what is he best at, what does he really do well. But I'll tell you this, right? Chelsea are better this season with a pivot of Gallagher and Caicedo than they are with a pivot of Enzo and Caicedo. Yes, Enzo's had a surgery and he needed that for a while, but whatever. Conor Gallagher is a fantastic footballer. And I think Chelsea, looking at other midfielders, Gabri Veiga, yes, he can play slightly more advanced too, but it's like Nkunku can also play in like a 10 role. Palmer can play in a 10 role. Mudryk could even plays better in a 10 role. So, like, for me, the Gabri Veiga thing, I just cannot really get excited about it whilst there is still rumours and talks at our football club to sell Conor flipping Gallagher. Now, the next thing that I absolutely, and it's the final story of this news video today, slightly shorter news video, Thiago Silva has proposals from 3 London clubs. The player's wife and children will remain in England regardless of the defender's decision. This also reeks to me. 3 proposals from 3 London clubs. There is what? Brentford, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Spurs, West Ham. Even if he goes like to Fulham, it's just annoying because he's down the road. Do you know what I mean? Brentford, he's 8 miles away, 7.45 miles, whatever it is. Even if it's one of those clubs, I'm like, this is just annoying. We might as well have just kept him around for that leadership. We might as well have offered him something that was actually... But to be honest, I think Pochettino and Thiago Silva don't really see eye to eye. That's my personal opinion. I don't know this for a fact. I don't know anything about the truth behind that. That's just my personal opinion. And I just think that Chelsea might be missing a trick. To replace Silva, and if we do get rid of Gallagher as well, to replace those 2 leaders in a squad already void of experience and already void of leadership could actually be the point that we come unstuck this summer. We could sign a load of other really talented footballers. We could even buy more experienced players. But then, like, if we stick with the manager and they don't fit in this system, or we get a new manager in and if it's not that manager's signings, like, this could all go even worse. I think we got to also remember that, guys, that as much as this season's been bad, last season was bad, it could get worse. And I think a lot of it would be down to losing too much of the influence of the players that actually get it Silva, Gallagher, like two massive influences, two massive Chelsea presences at the club. This worries me. It worries me from that kind of side, but it also worries me for like imagine Thiago Silva in an Arsenal shirt. Imagine if next year is the year they actually win the league, or maybe they win it this year as well, but like, imagine seeing Silva lift a Premier League and it not be at Chelsea. Imagine seeing Silva... Oh, he couldn't play for Spurs, could he? No, he couldn't. He couldn't. West Ham, like, just don't do it, mate. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be next to Zuma that much, do you? You don't. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. I'll be gutted to see this happen. But Thiago Silva's a family man. His wife and kids will remain in England. So, yeah, if he's not staying at Chelsea, this is what we've got to expect. But I would also really think about the reasons why he might not be staying at Chelsea. Yes, he's not the player that he was, but he's still the leader, and he is still a Chelsea man. Thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll catch you later for your second video.